So apparently there are hundreds of book events happening throughout the Midwest, and no one put them together in one place until now. I built a Midwest book event list, and I'm not talking like 20 or 30 events happening in the next 30 days. At this point, this list is over 400 in person events: author talks, readings, signings, festivals, book fairs, romance cons, poetry nights, indie bookstore events, library events, actual places where you can see real life people who share the same interests and hobbies as you, and maybe even talk to them. And yes, there are big names on this list: N.K. Jemisin, Lee Bardugo, Abby Jimenez, Gillian Flynn, Lori Gilmore, Beverly Jenkins, M.L. Wong, Patrick Raddenkeefe, Veronica Roth, Bryn Weaver, Marcus Zuzak, S.A. Cosby, Celeste Ning, Roxane Gay. That is not all of them, just casually all showing up in real places across the Midwest. But here's the part I did not expect. This is not just an author sits at a table and talks for 10 minutes. There are so many different kind of events. You've got classic author talks and Q&As, conversations and signing nights, poetry readings, book launch parties, library lecture series, huge book festivals and book fairs, romance conventions and genre cons, comic and pop culture conventions, author on tap events at bars, reading retreats, bookish summer camps, destination book clubs, even rare book fairs and library book sales. Stuff that not everybody thinks of when they think of a book event, until they're suddenly there around their people and they realize it just makes sense. And there's a second tab, because of course there is, a separate list of bookstores and libraries that hold reoccurring book clubs across multiple genres. Not a schedule, not a tracker of what book they're reading this month. Just here are the places where people show up regularly to either read together or talk about it. You can click the link, look into it, and decide if it's your thing. This started very selfishly. I was trying to hunt down the best book events near me, and it turns out that this information is scattered, outdated, and really hard to find unless you know exactly where to look. So I started slowly pulling it all together. And then it branched out and it grew. And it absolutely turned into a manic project that I spent an ungodly amount of time on. I'm finally ready to share it with the world. I know I missed things. I'm sure I did. I even set up a resource for you to let me know. But I also realized that if I'm struggling to find this, other people are too. Reading is an introverted hobby, but it doesn't have to be a lonely one. This list is about finding ways to show up, supporting libraries, supporting indie bookstores, supporting authors, and maybe sitting in rooms with people who care about the same weird little stories you do. I'm updating it whenever I can. I'm adding events. I'm planning on making content highlighting what's coming up. I'm calling it Midwest Lit Commons. It's free and I plan to keep it that way. You can find it in my bio. Save it, come back to it. And if you see something I missed, just let me know. Let me in on your secrets.